Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video. So I wanted to make a video talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime, more specifically the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's English dub, which we have heard absolutely nothing about. We have heard no news that it is even happening. We have heard no news that it is in production. We've heard no news on the casting. We've heard nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I wanted to talk about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dubbing process as a whole because I saw a couple of days ago that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains English dub picked back up in Australia, and I believe they aired episode 109 a couple of days ago. I know the show randomly, the English dub of course, randomly just went off the air in Canada and in Australia, whereas here in the States they've been slowly rolling out the episodes on Pluto TV, and a lot of people were wondering if the dub was even going to be finished for Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. I mean, next month, in September of 2021, that will be the 2-year mark that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains anime came to an end in Japan, and 2 years later, currently we're 23 months later, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains English dub has not even finished airing. Well, it does seem like the dub completed production. I'm 99% sure on that, and it looks like these episodes are finally being released. And I know we just had 109 released, so probably by the end of 2021, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains English dub will finally be fully released, at least somewhere in the world. Probably not the United States, but somewhere in the world. And that's been kind of a continuous trend when it comes to the Yu-Gi-Oh! English dubs. I've talked about this a couple of times in videos prior when analyzing the English dubs, and the one concerning trend that I have noticed is the length between time that it takes the English dub to start in reference to the Japanese version of the show, the original version of the show, airing in Japan. And what I mean by that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains debuted in May of 2017. It took the English dub 16 months before debuting in America, which happened in September of 2018. So between May 2017 and September 2018, 16 months passed before Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains officially started in Japan and the English dub officially started in the US. And I feel like it's a very topical time to make this video because guess what? We are 16 months past when Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's first aired over in Japan. I know that's crazy to think, but it has been 16 months, April of 2020 till now, which is August of 2021. And at the moment, we have absolutely no news, absolutely nothing on a Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's English dub, and there could be a few reasons for that. The first being the studios in New York have their hands tied because they have to wait for Rush Duels to come to the TCG. Now, whether they have to wait for a physical release, which we're not 100% sure is happening, or the video game release, which is happening in the fall, I'm sure it wouldn't make much sense for an anime, especially a new flavor anime like Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's is, to air in the West if the game that they are showing on screen is not available in any form out here in the West as well. So they might not need to wait for the physical version of the game to come. I mean, there's some people that think the TCG will never even get the physical version of Rush Duels. Topic for another time. But they might just have to wait for the video game to come out. And we know the Rush Duel video game is coming out in English for Western release in fall of 2021. And so if that's the case, the English dub could theoretically begin maybe in 2 to 3 months. However, we don't have any news that that's happening. We don't have any news on who the characters are. Remember, usually they announce who the characters are, and if my memory serves correct, during Arc 5 and Vrains, the voice actors were allowed to announce who they were playing a few months prior to the show beginning. I know that was definitely the case for Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. And so even though this quote-unquote Rush Duel release is right around the corner via the video game, we don't have any news on the status of this dub. And what is really fascinating about this video game is we know it's coming out for English release. Wouldn't you expect the game to be dubbed in English? I mean, obviously the text boxes will be changed to English, but there's also voice acting. In the original version of this game, characters have voice acting lines. And so if they are going to change those lines, unless they just get rid of them completely and the game is released without any voice lines, which I guess is a possibility, you would imagine they would need to cast people for these roles. And so it becomes very interesting, and it'll be very interesting to keep an eye on this over the next couple of months. If, let's say, Daniel J. Edwards is the voice of Yugioh in the Rush Duel video game, does that also mean that Daniel J. Edwards will be the voice of Yugioh in the actual anime? If Michael Licio Jr., who's been in many, many roles over these last two shows, Arc 5 and Vrains, is the voice of Rook in the video game, does that mean he's the voice of Rook in the anime? So there's a lot of things to keep an eye on. If Barrett Letty, who's a very good friend of mine on the channel quite a bit, is the voice of Gakuto, and if you know Barrett, I mean, that's a role that would fit him so well. In the Rush Duel video game, would he be Gakuto in the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's anime? I don't know. But wouldn't it be weird if the first signs of life for this show's English dub, or the first hints rather, come from the video game, which I think is a decent possibility. Another major reason why there could be such a bottleneck and delay, and it would be heartless for me not to mention this, is of course the pandemic that is happening in the world right now and still going on in the world right now. New York City, I mean, I live over in New Jersey. New Jersey wasn't that well during the pandemic, especially the early phases, but New York City was ravaged by COVID-19. The entire city shut down, and we know for a fact that Konami Cross Media, the studio that dubs this show, was probably not in the office, considering they work in the heart of New York City. COVID shut down Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s in Japan for 10 weeks total, 2 5-week breaks, and it probably bottlenecked a lot of things when it came to the production of this dub. And so we sit here a year and a half later with no idea as to when this dub will air or begin. If I had to predict, I would predict the spring of 2022. I believe in maybe March, April, May. That is when we are going to get the first episode release for the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's English dub, almost 2 years after it aired and debuted over in Japan. But that's just my prediction. Again, I have very good reason to believe we are getting a dub, but I really have no idea when this dub will be released or even officially announced. But guys, that is all I wanted to say in this video. I hope you all enjoy. Let me know if you're looking forward to the Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's dub. I know there's a lot of people that watch the dubs exclusively, that don't even watch the subbed versions of Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they tackle 7s, because what Yu-Gi-Oh! Dubs try to do fits what Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's is perfectly. They don't really need to censor too much. They can keep a lot of corny jokes in. In fact, they can even make it goofier and cornier, and it would fit the theme of the show much better than it fit the theme of like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains or a Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. So this show is right up Konami Cross Media's wheelhouse when it comes to the dubbing of Yu-Gi-Oh! Interested and excited and intrigued to see how they handle this dub. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. And a special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, Panther J, Blue Maiden 28, and Jarrett Buller, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood and Latrell Smith. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon and who is a YouTube channel member. There are some really cool perks associated with being a patron of mine or being a YouTube channel member. I definitely encourage you to check them out. And to everyone that has supported me through those means, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I stream on Twitch, I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram. Links for all those will be down below. Once again, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you in the comments section, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.